Now at 6, a scary scene along the Crystal Coast.
We couldn't believe what we were seeing.
The latest details we're learning about this boat.
We are also looking at rescues along our coast this weekend.
You could have a rip current develop anywhere at any time.
What experts are saying about the dangers of rip currents.
Plus, cutting the ribbon.
It's going to be a much better facility.
We've got the inside look at the expansion at Coastal Carolina Regional Airport.
And a final push in Raleigh.
They can't agree amongst themselves, and why they're stuck, no one is clear about.
What lawmakers are working on as the session comes to a close. Those stories and so much more are coming up on this Weather Alert Day.
Now, it's your forecast first from Storm Team 9.
And on this Weather Alert Day, a lot of severe weather already across eastern North Carolina. Thankfully, we're starting to see the back edge of the strong and severe thunderstorms as we speak. Technically, we still have a severe thunderstorm watch covering our coastal counties mainly now, but after we head past, say, about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, even there, the chance should be diminishing. Heaviest rain currently resides across Dare County, extending eastward towards the Outer Banks, also across Pamlico Sound, cutting all the way down south towards Ocracoke. We also have a lot of leftover light to moderate rain across parts of Carteret and also Onslow County, just north of Sneads Ferry. The severe thunderstorms that we're tracking out of Wayne County and Lenore County now finally starting to fall apart. But a lot of hail has been reported with these cells today, in addition to torrential downpours of rain and very gusty winds. Up in a few minutes, we'll have a recap of today and some quieter weather tomorrow. The longest running newscast in the East starts now.
On your side, this is WNCT 9 News at 6.
This large boat causing a chaotic scene in Atlantic Beach Saturday evening. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Ken Watlington.
And I'm Courtney Courtright. Let's look. You can see it right here. It seems to be going faster than normal and right to shore. There are still people walking the beach and some even in the water nearby. Let's take a closer look. People scramble to get out of the way. Then the boat hits the shore and comes to a stop on the sand. Atlantic Beach police say all of this happened Saturday evening near the Doubletree Hotel Pier. They say at least 7 people were on that boat. 2 were taken to a hospital. They are okay. People who saw all of this happening say it's something they never thought they'd have to worry about.
Moms don't tell their young kids, now be on the lookout for a huge sport fishing boat to come barreling towards shore. That's just not, in your frame of mind.
The North Carolina Wildlife is investigating what happened here. We are working to get more information from them. And of course, we will update you once we do learn more.
It was also a busy weekend for lifeguards along the Crystal Coast. The National Weather Service reports more than 150 water rescues from rip currents at the North Carolina coast over the last 4 days. A couple of those were in Atlantic Beach. The National Weather Service says rip currents are one of the biggest killers off the North Carolina coast.
We had a storm out in the ocean that produced a strong swell, but if you look above you, beautiful weekend. Lots of sunshine, it was very hot. Who wouldn't want to go to the beach on a nice hot weekend? So it's not as ominous or threatening like a thunderstorm where you can see the lightning and hear the thunder. So it's a distant storm that produced that swell, high populated beaches because it was hot, and that's a dangerous combination.
Experts say don't go out deep on a red flag day. Swim at beaches with lifeguards and swim parallel to shore if you're caught in a rip current. And across America, at least 6 people are dead after officials say they were caught in rip currents over the weekend. All of them happening along the Florida Panhandle. Parts of Panama City Beach now have double red flags, meaning no one is allowed in the water due to the risk of rip currents.
And back here in the east at North Topsail Beach, a 14-year-old boy is recovering after he was bit by a shark over the weekend. Police say it happened Sunday afternoon near beach access number 4. They say the teenager was taken to a hospital. He was treated there and released. They also say there was no sightings of seeing that shark. We are working to learn more about how the teen is doing. And we are learning new details tonight as New Bern police are investigating what they are calling a suspicious death. Officers say they found 36-year-old Dominique Brown dead on Liberty Street just after 5 o'clock this morning. Investigators say they are treating this incident as a homicide. If you have any information about Brown's death, call New Bern Police.
If you're planning to travel this summer, the Coastal Carolina Regional Airport is providing a better experience for passengers. Today, they cut the ribbon on phase 1 of their terminal expansion project. Now, on your side's Erin Jenkins was at that event. She's in the studio with us now. Erin, what does this expansion include?
Well, Ken, it has quite a few new additions. Some of those include a new boarding gate, boarding bridges, and a bigger TSA screening area. Airport officials and passengers I spoke with today say these upgrades will keep people coming back for years to come. When you pull into Coastal Carolina Regional Airport, you'll see some work being done. On the inside, though, officials just cut the ribbon on phase 1 of their terminal expansion project.
That's the phase that's really the critical phase for the passengers. It was originally built in 1999, so it wasn't set up for the TSA, didn't need it back then. So that was something we were needing to get to, is to give TSA a better laydown so they can more effectively do the screening, which of course makes it safer for everyone traveling as well.
Alan Harker is from Emerald Isle and travels through EWN often. He says the expansion will be just another plus when flying out.
Certainly an upgrade, new screening machines, so you don't have to take anything out, and just a more efficient process. We're not going to have to stand out in the rain anymore, boarding and offloading, which is a big plus.
Airport officials say this expansion could help to open new doors.
We can get larger and more airplanes on the ramp, so that's good. We have the extra gate, so we can handle more passengers at any given time.
Not only is the expansion good for the airport, but also good for the local economy.
The airport provides over $500 million in economic impact to the county. We see that continue to increase each year with visitor travel. In addition to visitors, of course, it's going to have tremendous impact to our local economy when it comes to industrial manufacturing. The military uses this. So it just provides another pipeline for people to get to Eastern North Carolina and to New Bern as a whole.
Now, crews are still working on some upgrades in and outside of the airport. The next phase, which includes covered access in the parking lot and other energy efficient upgrades, will be done in September. That's when they'll start on part 2 of this project. In the studio, Erin Jenkins, 9 on your side.
Exciting news, Erin, thanks. Coastal Carolina Regional Airport has a few airlines and destinations for you to pick from this summer. American Airlines always flies to Charlotte to connect you to just about anywhere in the world. And Breeze Airways also now flying out of New Bern. They just started about a month ago there. They have nonstop flights to Orlando, Florida and Hartford, Connecticut.
And we want to hear from you in tonight's Vote Now on 9 poll. We want to know, are you planning to travel this 4th of July? To vote, you can scan the QR code. It is right there at the bottom right side of your screen. You can also use a free 9 on your side mobile app or go to WNCT.com/vote to weigh in tonight. You can see the latest results tonight on your late news right here on WNCT. And if you are heading out on the road in the next week for the holiday, there will be more law enforcement officers out with you. The North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program and law enforcement agencies are kicking off Operation Firecracker. It's the Booze It and Lose It campaign during the 4th of July week. Its goal is to address impaired driving, especially as DWI crashes are rising. The State Department of Transportation says more than 8,000 people were hurt in alcohol-related crashes in our state last year. 500 people died.
That's 500 families and countless communities impacted by this senseless act. So we have got to address that. One of the ways that we can do that is by having increased law enforcement patrols.
Law enforcement officers will be out in various parts of our state. The Booze It and Lose It campaign runs until July 7th.
The state Senate is voting tonight on several major issues still unresolved during the session. This as they'll be leaving Raleigh at the end of the week. One of those issues includes legalizing medical marijuana. The bill they are voting on also includes provisions. The House wants to ban various drugs, including tianeptine, which is known as gas station heroin. Even though the House wants those changes, Speaker Tim Moore says there still aren't enough Republicans willing to back medical marijuana. Senator Bill Rabon, who survived cancer, says marijuana helped him get through the treatments.
With 18 months to live, I'm here 20 years later because I had a physician that told me to do this, and I did it.
And the day that we have a majority of the Republican caucus ready to vote for it, then it would suit me to go ahead and vote on it. But until we have that, it won't come to the floor.
The Senate will also vote tonight on changes to the state budget.
Hurricane season is underway. Today in Greene County, the National Weather Service held an event to help you prepare. And on your side, Sarah Gray Barr is joining us now from the newsroom. So Sarah Gray, you went to the Community Hurricane Forum. What is different about this year's event?
Yeah, Courtney, this specific forum took place at the Greene County Senior Center. Many of the people there were senior citizens who've lived in Snow Hill their entire lives. They remember more recent hurricanes like Matthew and older ones like Floyd. They tell me you can be impacted by a hurricane even if you aren't in its direct path. The National Weather Service talked about knowing your risk. What do you need to make it through the storm? For example, what's your dependence on electricity? Senior citizens may depend on AC or need oxygen, and make sure you have a way to stay informed. NWS also says prepare an evacuation plan, take into account transportation and who you'll be traveling with. And if you're evacuating, only return home when you're told it is safe to do so.
But you have to be prepared, otherwise you're a goner. So this what you're doing today is really going to help a lot of people in here to get prepared, because this is hurricane season.
This forum was recorded and it's posted online. If you'd like to watch it, we'll link it over on our website, WNCT.com. The Greene County Senior Center also wants residents to reach out if they need help with storm aid. We'll have that phone number on our website as well.
So Sarah Gray, what makes a hurricane deadly?
Yeah, Courtney, when I spoke with the National Weather Service, they told me that wind determines a hurricane's category, but it's actually the water which makes these storms so deadly. They add that 85% of deaths in storms are due to water. In the newsroom, Sarah Gray Barr, 9 on your side.
Sarah Gray, thank you. Still ahead here on WNCT 9 News at 6, cleaning up a beach on the Outer Banks. What officials are saying about this week's project as there's concerns of petroleum in that area.
And a lot of severe weather across the state of North Carolina today. That threat is pushing through the coastal counties now as we speak. We'll have the latest on this weather alert day and some better weather for tomorrow coming up next.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, historic flooding in the Midwest prompting emergency declarations and hundreds of water rescues. We're tracking the heavy rain and the new warning tonight that one dam is at risk of imminent failure. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.